the thighs. And start to do Ujjayi breath, keeping the abdomen in and up, breathing through your chest. And slowly open your eyes. Inhale, palms overhead. Look up at your hands. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward fold. You can put your hands on your thighs or front of your shins, or same line as your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, palms down, step back into a high plank. Slowly come forward into chaturanga. You can always drop your feet into this pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes in. Downward facing dog. Step your feet in. Feet are hip distance wide. Grounding through your hands. Bring your head through. Looking between your legs. Belly button. And breathe here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the last exhale, bring your hips back. Inhale, step or walk into a halfway lift. Looking in between your third eye. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe bend your knees, drop your head. And inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, Samasthiti. We go again. I'm going to do it from the side so you can see this time. Inhale, palms overhead. Nice straight spine. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down. Step or jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. At any point you feel tired, go down into a child's pose. 2. Always listening to your body and being proud that you're showing up today. 4. Really ground through your palms. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, step or jump into a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, abdomen to thigh connection. Inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, Samasthiti. I'll step here again. We're going to do one more round of A. Let's take a moment here. Stand here, feeling your breath, noticing your heart beating, maybe noticing warm within. And knowing that today this is maybe challenging because it's cold outside. You may not be as flexible. It's not about flexibility. It's about showing up and being here for yourself and being proud of yourself. And I'm so happy you're here to join me today. One more breath. And one more round of A. Inhale. Palms overhead. Exhale, hinge from your hips into a forward fold. Bend your knees, drop your head. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, palms down. Maybe go onto your knees and slowly come down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1. Open your palms wide, really ground through your palms. 2, roll your shoulders away from your ears. 4, really bring your hips up and back. 1 more breath. Hips back. Inhale, step or jump. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, Samasthiti. Now we're going to do Surya Namaskar B. The difference with B is we do chair pose, Utkatasana. So your feet are in the same position as Samasthiti, but you're sitting like you're sitting in a chair. And your palms are up and you're tucking your tailbone in, engaging, okay? And in between the chaturangas, which you've done before, you're gonna come into Virabhadrasana, warrior pose. So the first round, I'll go really slow, and then we'll go with another pace. Now, if at any point you feel tired, go into child's pose. I do it all the time. I listen to my body, and I just try my best. You've got this. Inhale, palms up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here, stay for a moment, left foot diagonal, step your right leg forward. Bend into that front foot, palms on your, and really square your hips. We're going slow, focusing on alignment and bringing your palms all the way up. If you can, or you keep it at the heart center or on your waist. Perfect too. Exhale, palms down. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now pause. Right foot diagonal. Left foot, you step to where your hands are, if possible, or slowly walk into it. Palms up, if you can. Prayer center. Nice long spine. Exhale, palms down. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to breathe here for 5 breaths. 1. Engage through your core. 2. Focus on your Ujjayi breath. A few more breaths here. One more breath. Exhale. Inhale, step or jump into a halfway lift. Perfect. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanam. Drop your hips down, palms up, and release. So you could just bring your feet in front for a moment and bring both your soles of your feet touching, knees out to the side. And what I like to do is put a pillow or blocks to the sides. And the goal of the feet, alignment cue. 1 sole feet distance from your groin. If you're not there, it's okay. Just as long as you always remember that as you progress, you bring your feet in to 1 foot distance from your seat. Now take your hands and look at your beautiful feet. Open it up like it's a book. Noticing all the details of this beautiful book of life that the feet walks through. Now we're going to do an inhale, lengthening through the spine, A position. And now we're going to keep our spine nice and straight, bringing our elbows towards the sides and bringing your chin down. Chin to feet. It doesn't have to end up there. It's just you're putting the energy as if it's going there. And breathing again. 2. Relax your shoulders. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, B position. Now you're going to round your spine. And the goal is to bring your forehead to your feet. You could just envision it. I envision it. I can't do it, but it's okay. So I say inhale, I lengthen, and I exhale, and I drop my head and I round. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale. And move your blocks if you did what I did. And we're just going to go ahead and do some windshield wipers. And so did a lot of forward, like rounding. We're just going to open our chest nice and open. So bring your across your feet and just bring your chest forward and open. And round again. Open and round. And release. Now we're going to do Upravishta Konasana. So these are a lot. So we're just doing one more pose of this, and then we're going to move into a couple of closing poses. So Upravishta Konasana is basically a wide leg seated forward fold. So you bring your legs nice and wide as wherever is comfortable. It doesn't have to be fully wide where you're really feeling tension. Just wide enough that it feels comfortable. You could flex your feet and you grab where you feel comfortable, maybe here, maybe the sides of your feet, wherever you feel comfortable. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. And breathing here. If you have to micro bend your knees, that's okay. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale. Exhale. And cross your feet. So we're going to go ahead and do some closing poses. So with Ashtanga Vinyasa, you do your Sun A, your Sun B, which is your warm-up, right? And that's the Vinyasa one after the other 5 times, then 3 to 5 times with B. Then we do standing poses. Then we move into seated poses, left and right with the Vinyasa between each side. And then you keep working through that. And then you meet a point where you're in closing. Now, with the tradition of Ashtanga Vinyasa is Mysore style. So if you were to go to a Mysore style class, you may think this is an intense practice, but the teacher will guide you through Sun A, Sun B, and make sure you're able to do that well. And then they'll slowly add on 1 or 2 postures here and there as your practice develops. And as soon as your practice starts to develop, they say, okay, you're good with this pose, you look good alignment. They'll move you on to the next pose, and they'll slowly build you up till the end of the series. But what I've learned from my practice and taking a bunch of Mysore classes, and also my lineage of yoga, Ashtanga Vinyasa, and knowing how to teach that style, you would slowly see how the student grows with their practice, and you see their transformation. And you would do Sun A, Sun B, and go right to closing postures. Sun A, Sun B, a couple of postures, and then go right to closing. So you learn the vinyasas, the sun salutation A, sun salutation B, and then you go right into the closing. So you learn the closing poses. So some of the closing poses are bridge or wheel, chakrasana. And then you'd move on to back bend where you really backdrops. I can't do those yet, but I'm practicing that. Then you move on to shoulder stand, Salamba Sarvangasana. Then you do Shirshasana. And then you move on to a few seated poses. So let's go ahead and get onto our mat. And we're going to lay down. And we're going to do variation. We're doing modifications today. So lay on your back. Feet are hip distance wide. Okay? Knees up towards the sky. Take a block or a pillow and lift your hip and bring it underneath, wherever level feels right. It can be flat, this level, or higher. Now make sure you're putting the block where your sacrum is, not on your spine. And you put your hands out and you breathe here for 5 breaths. Three. 4. And 5. Now, if you want to stay here, you can. If you want to do more, you could just stay here, or we can move on into our next one is bridge without the block. So take your hands and you kind of bring your hands to kind of touch your heels. You kind of feel like, okay, it's a good alignment there. Feet are still hip distance wide, knee up towards the sky. Take your hands, interlace and lift your hips and bringing your shoulders under and lifting your hips up towards the sky. And you're going to breathe here. Engaging through your back body, your glutes, quads, squeezing. 3, 4, and 5. And release. And the last pose is if you want to do more, and we could do bridge again, but if you want to do wheel, Urdhva Dhanurasana, you'll bring your hands, make sure hands are good, okay. Hands are by your ears, okay? Now you're making sure you're bringing your elbows in. You're not bringing it out to the side. You're keeping it engaged and in. Then you go ahead and ground through your spine and kind of make your body like a cheerleader, okay? All right. And then you're going to lift, ground through your feet and squeeze and lift. Bring your feet in, back parallel. And then bring your chest forward. 1, 2, squeeze. 3, 4, and 5. Drop onto your head. And then slowly come down. Knees into chest. And rock side to side. Extend your legs above, cross your feet, and come back up. Just take a moment here. And that is a big heart opener. So emotions might come up, feelings might come up, and it's normal. And it's just your body holds on to so much emotions. And for me right now, I feel the energy of things releasing. So it feels emotional and it's fine. But just note that this is normal with yoga practice, that they don't really tell you. Just breathe through it. And as we sit here, we're just going to do a twist. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, twist to your right side. And really elongate your spine and twist and look behind. You're twisting from your chest and your abdomen, not your neck. Inhale, palms up, and switch. And release. The next pose is shoulder stand. So the next two poses, if this may be uncomfortable for you, if you have high pressures in your eyes, like glaucoma, hypertension that's not controlled, severe heart disease, pregnant, menstruating, maybe some neck. For example, you have like some severe neck injury, like you've had issues with your neck, not like a neck pain where you slept last night and you woke up and your neck's kind of tight. It's totally fine. With any type of neck injury, I would prefer that you lay on your back in Shavasana, or you can watch. So when you do overcome those elements, you can try them. But some modifications for you would be the first pose with shoulder stand. I'll show you that one. And then when we do Shirshasana headstand, I'll show you a great modification to build your strength. So when you're ready to do those poses, you can. So let's start with shoulder stand. So Salamba Sarvangasana. So bring your feet parallel to each other. And then we're going to go ahead and lift our legs up and put our hands underneath our lower back and bring our elbows in. Point your toes, engage through your spine and your core. We'll breathe here for a count of 15. Or whatever feels comfortable for you. If you come out of it, it's okay. Just go into Shavasana where you lay on your back. If that's too much, you can go into child's pose. 10. Engage. 9. Bring your hands down. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Now keep your head straight. Don't turn your neck. Just listen to what I'm saying. Drop your feet behind your head. And it doesn't have to touch the ground. And just support your lower back because you don't want to turn your neck in this pose. Keep your neck nice and straight. And breathe here. Always supporting your lower back. See, today, I'm very tight, so my feet can't touch the ground. Now, do I get upset? No. I remind myself that this is practice. Some days your body can do certain things. Some days your body can't. And we don't judge the body. We accept the body as how it is. 2 more breaths. And slowly bring your feet back into shoulder stance. And slowly come down vertebra by vertebra. Okay, perfect. Extending your legs. And everyone can join in fish pose, Matsyasana. This will help really open up your chest, a nice open back bend. So go ahead and bring your palms underneath your seat, onto the side. And then what I do is I go onto my forearms. And then I take my head, I drop it back, and make sure my head touches the ground. If I can't, I can always put a block. Now, 90% of the weight is on your forearms. 10% is on your head. Really opening up the chest. Just slide your hands down, you can. This is really great. Your lungs are fully open, your rib cage. So this is a great time to take really slow and deep breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and slowly release. And bringing your knees into chest for just a moment and rock side to side. And slowly come up into seated position. Take a moment. Follow your breath. Close your eyes again. And no matter where you are in your journey, even if this is your first practice, be proud of yourself. And noticing things shifting and moving, just reminding yourself you are perfect just the way you are. And don't let anyone take that away from you. And slowly open your eyes. The next pose is called Shirshasana, headstand. It's very scary to think about it. It took me over a year to be able to even fathom the emotions to trust myself. So what I've learned is different drills that really helped me. And I felt stronger. I felt more trust within myself. And it helped me. And I want to share that with you. Inversions are very good for the mind and the body. But if you have neck injury, hypertension, heart disease, high pressures in your eye like glaucoma, pregnant, menstruating, I don't recommend you doing it unless you're with a teacher in front. If you're in a class where you're with a teacher. But if headstands in your practice, we can do that. You can start right now. And if it's not in your practice, let's walk through it today. So we're going to do a warm-up drill for this. And we're going to start with dolphin pose. So it's kind of like your downward facing dog, but you're on your forearms. So you're going to take your hands, interlace them, okay? That's the goal. And what's going to happen, you take your thumb and you feel a spot of your head that's kind of like flat. That's where you put your head on. You're not putting your head here. You're not putting your head on the side. It's on the flat portion of your head. So now, grab onto opposite upper arm and feel that. Okay? Then we take our palms, our elbows, and bring it down. Okay? So that's a good alignment right there. And you make a triangle with the basket of your hands. Okay? And then you take your head where you notice where that is and you kind of feel it. Kind of feel where that is. Okay? And support your head. And your goal is to really push through your forearm and protract your shoulder. You want to minimize the amount of weight on your head. So you really got to push your forearms down onto the ground. So you're not collapsing, you're pushing and engaging. See that difference? Not here, we're here. And pushing onto those forearms. I'm going to show you from the side. Dolphin. Go ahead and walk your feet in. Walk your feet in. Walk your feet in. Now, wherever feels comfortable, and stay here. And maybe that's your dolphin, is focusing on engaging. If that's too difficult, you can stay here and go forward, looking over the cliff and coming back. That's another option too, just to get strength. Do a couple of those. And if you're ready, go here and go forward and back. Or we just stay here. Okay. And if that's where you're at, practice that, stay in those poses, and do that for a bit to get used to that comfort. And it takes time. I want to introduce it today just to give you some time to see where you're at. And it's okay. I was there. And not that I'm not there. Some days I can't do the headstand practice. That's okay. So I do those poses. And I love it, even though it's hard. Okay. So let's now break it down to walking in to a headstand position. Now, what I recommend you doing is getting a wall. Making sure you have a wall with you today to practice. I don't see a wall here for myself. Okay. I trust that you have a wall, a nice wall that you're sitting forward on. So if you need a moment, get a wall. I wish I had one. I don't have one. Okay. So you're here, basking in your hands again, putting your head back on the ground, and you're tucking your toes in, and you're just walking your feet and making sure you're on that hard part of your head. If at any point it feels uncomfortable, just come out of the pose and go into child's pose. So go ahead, walk it in, and then walk it back out. Your goal is to get your hips over your shoulders. Walk it in, walk it in, walk it in, walk it in, and walk it back out. Keep practicing walking that in. And maybe bend one foot in, and walk it back out. Keep practicing that sensation of walking your feet in, walking your feet. Bending one foot, next foot, and walking it back down. Go into child's pose here. Okay, let's try it. Let's try to see if we can walk into headstand today. If you do feel comfortable and you feel you can do it. Trusting your body. And if you're home, you have someone to spot you, that would be awesome. Or just rewatch this video again too. So go ahead and basket your hands, making sure you're here. Triangle. Dropping your head, nice little basket. And then pushing and protracting my shoulders. And then I walk. And I walk. And then if you keep walking, you'll feel lightness. See, my feet kind of light. And I could tuck my feet in, or I can extend one leg in and slowly come up. If that's not it, it's okay. You can walk in, walk in, walk in, walk in. You can bring your feet in like this and stay here for a bit. And then maybe the next time you go here. And there's a point where you balance. There's like no weight. And I'm pushing onto my forearms. And then you come back the same way you came up. And always lay into child's pose. And feel your breath. And slowly come into seated. And go ahead and stretching your neck one side. And switching. Turning your head over your shoulders, slowly and gently. Front and back. Maybe do circles one way. And maybe the other way.